So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. I got you. I know you brushed it out, but I got you. He had him held down. I need you for an illustration. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answered the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? Lee, I'm looking for a different word, though. What's that word? He said, I wanted to breathe.
So he said, the man brought the young guy out that wanted to be successful, put his head under the water, and then held it under there till pretty much right before he was about to pass out. Teaching him endurance, how to suffer, long suffer. It says here, because you got a great boxer is a defensive boxer, okay? A great offense is a great defense. But a man that could survive in the corner, right, is a man that's gonna. They show great fights that come out of that. A man's back up against the ropes. He's Rocky Balboa. Come on now. The whole movie, his back's up against the ropes. He's taking a beating, and then all of a sudden he comes out and he prevails over his enemy. That's Israel's story right there. This whole set of time, every time we've been in slavery, just getting the snot beat out of us. Getting fucking raped and robbed like nobody's business. Because we've sinned. We deserved it. It was nobody's business. That's why no man shall buy you. Because it was no one's business. It was between us and Yahweh. And we went off. So Yahweh gave us the right dose. Alright? But now we're at the end of it. So now we're coming up out of it. Just like that man. Right before he passed out, he pulled him out. Just right before the elect perish. Let me get that. So I'm going to get this Genesis 1 verse 7 first. And it says, and Yahweh's power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. So that breath that man is talking about that he desired, you got to find Yahweh for it. It's Yahweh that gives breath to the good or the bad. So when you're seeking out righteousness, you're supposed to seek out Yahweh. But you have to go through Yahweh Shai, right? Through this truth to get to Yahweh. The one that gives breath, that gives life. And that's why he pretty much got us out of the mud. He took us out of the dust of the ground, put life into us, and rose us up, made us stand up for this occasion. So how dare we turn back to go lay down, to go sit down, to go do anything else but push this truth? If you're an elect, declare it. Have the faith to do the work. And then it says here, I want to get another one real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, come, the Lord brought it back. Let me see. I believe it's Matthew 24. Let's see. 3:24. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right? You that endure unto the end against all odds, you're the elect. That's why you succeeded in enduring. That's why you have the ability to endure. Let me get another one. It says, let me see. Right here. Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the man, also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. So what they were doing, they were being preoccupied in pleasure. That they completely, out of ignorance, willful ignorance, turned their back on the Most High. Because he actually sent Noah to tell him to repent. To tell him the flood's coming, but they ignored him. They mocked him. Just like Lot. His son-in-laws mocked him. Right? Just like Yahushua was mocked. Just like Samson was mocked. Just like all of us are mocked in this truth. That's what this life is right now. It is not pleasure. It is not gain. In fact, it is loss. It is suffering. It is endurance. It's pain. It is disciplining yourself, examining yourself, knowing yourself. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. I mean, most people, even men that are in this truth, are going to be so preoccupied looking the other direction, they ain't going to see it coming. That's why the elect is a very small number. You know? Because everybody else is going to be deceived. Let me get one more verse real quick. Let me see. It is Matthew 24:22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because the elect are going to be diligent. They're going to be, it don't matter what happens to them. They get thrown in prison. They lose everything. They lose their wives. They lose their house. They lose their kids. Whatever they lose, they're going to stay in this truth because they have no choice. They were already elected before they were even born to carry this out. So, honestly, you were born successful.
He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And that's how this truth is. Because Yahweh gave you the breath of life to serve Him. And you're supposed to serve Him in obedience. That's love, is obeying His commandments. And if you love Him, let me get that. I'm going to get the script. Through the Spirit, I'm going to close out. It's John. Let me see. I believe it's 13. Let me see. Shalom. Give me 1 second, brother. Yeah, I think it's 13. Right here. This is John 13:1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own, which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And that's what you're supposed to do unto brothers, is love them unto the end of the world. But the brothers are supposed to be loving Yahushua which would be loving their brothers, because you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you ain't doing these videos to edify your brother, you're not loving your brother. If you're not doing going to camp to warn your brothers of the judgment to come, you don't love your brothers. And your brother's blood is going to be on your hands. So if you want to be successful in this truth, you got to strive for it as breath, as your breath. That's why it's our daily bread. You eat more than once a day. All right? That's why you're supposed to be praying for the kingdom to come. Because it's like you can't breathe. You're out of breath. You can't breathe. Praying for Yahweh Shai to come and give you relief. And pray means beg. You're supposed to be begging. That's why you're supposed to be pushing these videos and pushing this truth. Begging for Yahweh Shai to come back to give you relief from your suffering.
I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you're trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful.
In this truth, brothers, you don't ever want to go to sleep. And I ain't talking about going to sleep in your bed. I'm talking about this truth. You don't ever want to lose this truth. You don't ever want to go into darkness. You don't want to give your mind over to reprobate, to becoming a reprobate. Don't let this world deceive you for a moment of pleasure. Do not let a man take the crown of life off your head. This is, the Lord Yahweh is having me go through this through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem. So I'm going to just keep pushing. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates? But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Now I'm going to jump to chapter 12, verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. And I wanted to get that through the Spirit, because if you brothers suffer from the lack of material to push out on a video, a great thing to do is examine yourself and glorify in your infirmities, showing yourself to be weak and why you're eligible for the grace of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Edifying the brothers so that they may repent and endure diligently, seeking out truth, knocking, asking for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. May all you brothers that push this truth endure. Shalom.